Hi. It's been a while. A couple weeks ago, we went on a little trek around. Oh, where did we go? We went all over. We were on the hunt for planters for inside the house because I wanted to plant edibles. So we found some, and they're pretty good. Just 3 planters. So what we did, or what I wanted to do before we ever got here, I wanted to grow our own food just like we do in Hawaii. But I knew we were going to be in an inner city apartment because that was always the goal. So as we hunted for apartments, having good windows with great light was a pretty big priority for personal reasons, but also for plants. And we found one. Obviously, we have great windows. And so now that we've settled in a little bit and we can start thinking about domestic things, I started thinking about growing plants because produce is not as expensive here as it is in Hawaii, but it is still expensive. And with the changes that I've made to the way that we're eating, we eat a lot of produce. And some primary staples are kale and spinach, a lot of green leafy things, just like what we were growing in Hawaii. Now, granted, I, for whatever reason, could never get spinach to grow in Hawaii. Nothing happened. I might have got a bad batch of seeds. But the kale, that was a staple, and I kept harvesting over and over and over off the same plants, and it was fantastic. And so to me, that seems like a prime container plant because that same group of kale, we were eating, every week I would cut on it and cut it almost all the way down. And every week there would be plenty more. And so that went on for a couple months before it finally started to dwindle down on how much it would regrow. So, okay, that sounds all right, because I could easily cycle, like, as this is getting done, I could plant new, because it probably takes, I think it was about 6 weeks until that kale and bok choy was mature enough to harvest. So if I'm careful, and at the time that I can harvest kale for the first time, I'll have about 6 weeks to go until I'm out of harvest options. And so if I plant at that time new seeds, then by the time I'm done harvesting one cycle, the next cycle will be ready. Anyway, so I planted seeds finally last weekend. So they were pretty boring pots because I have 3 pots. One of them is herbs. It's not boring. It's pretty. It's got rosemary, sweet basil, Italian parsley, and a couple of cilantro because we love cilantro. And that's growing great. I'm going to have to cut some cilantro tonight to get that to keep going. It's getting kind of droopy. It needs a trim. The other 2 pots were just seeds, and so they were nothing to look at. Except it's been 5 days, and you have to see this. That is 5 days. That's all. 5 days. Look how tall they are. Unbelievable. So the super tall stuff, all of this stuff in here, that's bok choy. This whole front square inside of this larger square. That's all bok choy. There's 2 rows of kale in the back. One here going this way and one here inside of it. So there's our kale and our bok choy box. I'll back up so you can get some scale with that. It's a pretty good sized planter. Our herb bowl is looking beautiful. Isn't that pretty bright green? So rosemary, sweet basil, curly parsley, and then 2 cilantros. You can see the cilantro is getting kind of rangy, so I got to give that a trim tonight. And then here's the other bowl pot. I just got this pretty planter, but it didn't want to fill the whole thing with soil, so I just put a smaller pot inside of it. And that ring of pretty green, of course, that is bok choy, because that stuff just loves to grow. But overnight last night, these were not here yesterday, these tall spindly guys, those are spinach. So they're pretty frail at the moment, if you can see them. There, I guess you can see. See, there's a good one, those tall guys. Those are spinach. So those are starting, which is fantastic. And they literally weren't even there yesterday. And you can see, like, look at those little baby curly guys there, how cute they are when they're new. Yeah, yesterday when I came home from work, those didn't exist. That guy didn't exist. These guys did, but they weren't nearly so ferocious. So, I'm so excited. This guy, this plant, this box right here is so full. Anyway, I'm obviously a little bit excited. I'll back up a little. You can see it's just a little corner display there. No big deal. And it's going to produce, I would bet, a solid 2 months of food, more than we can eat, because that's how it went in Hawaii. And I still have plenty of seeds left, so I can plant more. So yeah, so when these get to a mature amount of growth and I can start trimming on them, I'll start scattering in a few seeds in between the rows to get the next cycle going. But, so funny. I'm pretty excited, obviously. I left the center of this one open because I thought, oh, well, I might want to put something tall in that spot. But, oh, I might have put something tall in there. I can't remember. I planted so many things. I don't know if I put anything in the center. I might have. But, look at all the little kales. They're so cute. They have little roundy round leaves. If it'll focus. Come on, focus. Oh, it won't do it. But they're almost like a little clovery looking leaf. There, you can kind of see. But, yeah, not too shabby. We'll keep you updated and let you know how they do. But the herbs, look how beautiful they are. They're happy. Look at the side of this building. It looks like water. But they're just little squares hanging at the top. And the wind blows them. That's brilliant.